Welcome back everyone. As some of you may know, the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 actually came out last year, over a year ago, and this was one of the last Note phones that Google has ever made, almost at Apple. So let's do a late 2021 review. I've already done a full review earlier this year, but this is what I'll tell you. I still think this phone is pretty much worth it in every single area. It's not perfect, but I do think for that price tag and for going down in the price tag a little bit, I think that's a pretty good thing. If you want to pick it up, links are down in the description. You can get that from there and help support the channel at the same time. Now the front of this thing has that full HD 6.7 inch panel, and I'll be honest, this thing is so reminiscent of the Pixel 6 Pro. I can't believe Google actually took pretty much that design, which it looks really good on both phones, and I love this design a lot. You have that hole punch display, and it's a really good looking phone for sure. Now you do have that USB Type-C port on the bottom, but that's it. No micro SD card slot, no headphone jack, which is expected, but the lack of a micro SD card slot really threw me off. I was expecting to get one on this phone, and we actually didn't, which is kind of upsetting. Now on the back, we also get a plastic back, which this isn't the first Samsung phone with a plastic back, but this is the first time we kind of saw it on one of their flagships. We did see it on the S20 FE, but that was more of a budget phone, but I couldn't believe they put a plastic back on this thing either. That was so off-putting, and it kind of was the beginning of the end of the Note lineup because we haven't seen another Note phone since then. Now we do have that camera set up on the back, the wide telephoto and ultra-wide sensor, which is still a very good sensor for sure. You have 4K at 60, you have 8K capability, which is so crazy. You also have a 10 megapixel front-facing camera where you can do 4K at 60, and without a doubt, this is a solid sensor. I think if you're somebody who's trying to go and pick up a phone and move on with their life, this is a very capable phone with a ton of resources for their cameras. Now, another big thing about this phone is the software. Samsung did increase the longevity of this phone in terms of software, but I don't think it's necessarily the best approach because I'm not a fan of One UI, but some of you may be, so I think that's totally okay. But the other thing is that with the Note 20, it's still not going to be lasting as long as you may expect it to. I mean, it's probably going to be like another 2 years, and then maybe it'll get done, but I wish it could go and continue on and just get software support forever because the hardware is so good. But again, Samsung has to, I guess, limit the software one way or another. Now, performance-wise, this thing has that Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 5G Plus chipset, which is a very long name, and this thing has 8 gigs of RAM. And with the performance side, I mean, like I mentioned before, even last year, I was saying that this phone's performance was solid because it is. It is a very good performing phone. I had very few things to complain about this phone with, and I definitely do think if you're in the market and you need to pick up a phone, this is a very solid option. You know, it really doesn't get too much better than this. I mean, you do get the Google Tensor chipset in the iPhones and stuff with the newer ones, but this is still a very fast phone, and if you're not expecting to do insanely crazy performance tasks, this thing probably will still be able to handle it for the most part. So I think this is a solid phone of that standpoint, and I'm a fan of it for sure. Now this thing also has that 4300 mAh battery, which is a massive size battery to have, and I pretty much do think that is another asset of picking up a phone like this. I mean, that's a big size battery, you're getting reverse wireless charging, so it's a solid phone for sure. And to be honest, I think the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 is still completely worth it. The software is the only thing that even kind of throws me off a little bit, but other than that, this is a beautiful phone. Even though it has a plastic back, it still feels extremely premium, and I'm a fan of this phone for sure. So in terms of that pretty much covers it up. If you guys have any other questions or anything like that, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that will mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.